Morning, all of you. In today's class, we'll discuss about the if a RL or RC or RLC circuit, if it is energized by a composite again AC signal. So what is that composite signal? You can look at here: A sine omega t, B sine omega t plus alpha. Till now, we confined ourselves to something like only A sine omega t. What happens if some composite signal comes like this? What method has to be applied? This is the thing. Like few for parallel circuits. Previous class we discussed some 2, 3, 4 problems on parallel. A generalized idea how to deal with parallel circuits and series circuits. Then we'll proceed to resonance, series sine parallel resonance. So I'll begin with this question. Now look at this signal A sine omega t plus B sine omega t plus alpha. So what we should calculate? We should find out the VRMS of this one. And what is the phase angle of the given signal. We know how to calculate VRMS. We were not aware of what, like that particular phase angle of the signal. How to, can be asked like this also. The total signal has to be replaced now, VRMS, and it will have some phase also, that signal. We'll calculate RMS value of this function. So what is the generalized approach? What we have is VRMS I'll proceed now this way. So this, what we have a generalized formula, VRMS square is equal to 0 to t v square dt, 0 to t dt. This I'll substitute here. VRMS square is equal to, this will be 1 by t, 0 to t a sine omega t b sine omega t plus alpha whole square dt. This will expand. Alpha is some phase angle. So what we do is we are going to expand it. Then we'll integrate, we'll substitute the limits. Then we'll get the required RMS value. There's one approach. I think you're going to encounter a mathematics here now. First, sine omega t, you have to expand. Sine omega t, cos alpha, cos omega t, sine omega t. Then we'll get three components. Expanding a plus b plus c whole square formula. Solving all that, we'll get expression for directly the VRMS value. There's a one approach. I think, can you, okay, one more step, I'll show it. What we have to do after this is A sine omega t. This will be B sine omega t cos alpha plus B cos omega t sine alpha. This we have to further expand. Then after expansion, then integration for full cycle. Where all sine square omega t, it should be 1 by 2. In one full cycle, the value of this should be 1 by 2. Integral of sine omega t dt in one full cycle will be 0. You have to follow this. So if I solve this, I'll end up with the equation like this. VRMS square is equal to a by root 2 whole square b by root 2 whole square plus ab cos alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is the phase of the second component. So this, if I put it, you have to solve mathematically. This is a value. I think you have to be careful here. What is that? There's the maximum value, no? So this should be a by 2 only will come. A square by 2 plus b square by 2 plus ab cos alpha. There's a generalized formula. Like that, sir, if I bring another component, plus C sine omega t, say some phase angle. You can't, you have to work out. This phase, what happened, I think we discussed the problem without this phase angle. Can you remember? Without this, it was there, that one. The question what we discussed is, it was without this. Now, if the phase angle comes, no, the formula will end up like this. Huh? Nothing to do, just solve this equation, solve this, bracket expand and integrate, and where all you get conditions of like this, no? It should be, so then substitute, finally you'll get this much. So we got VRMS. What about the phase angle of this? There's only magnitude we got, no phase angle. I think it's very difficult. We can't predict the phase angle. How do we can say it will have zero phase? Nothing to do that one. So what is the alternative method is, or what is the alternative method? We'll go for A sine omega t. What is the phase of this? Zero. Magnitude is A. What is the magnitude of second component? B. And what is the phase angle? Alpha. I'll treat this as V1 in the phasor diagram. This is A. Maximum values I have, not RMS values. So let me do for maximum here. And this is B. This is alpha. I'll calculate the resultant of this. What is the formula for this? Resultant will be Vm maximum, no? So what I took is maximum. Vm square equal to A square plus B square 2ab cos alpha. There's a peak value of this. Then what is the angle made? The resultant of this can we calculate? I think go back to the vector addition. Angle made by the resultant with this one. So this Vm vector will come somewhere in between. This is alpha. So how to calculate this tan theta? You know, formula, substitute here. That will be the total resultant of signal, VRMS, and it will have a phase angle of theta. You don't know that. I know. That's what I'm trying to hear. We don't know that current. How to calculate current until unless you don't know VRMS. Check the calculation. So I got Vm. So if you know Vm, then Vm by root 2. I think I'll get this answer. Is it justified? I think this approach, I prefer this one, because this having less. The first one, integration one, was very lengthy. So what is the basic idea of this? Treat that individual components as vectors. A sine omega t. Magnitude is A, zero phase. B, magnitude is B, and phase angle is alpha. So two vectors are there. Two phasors are there. The angle between the phasors is alpha. Calculate the resultant magnitude. That is Vm. Then you'll get VRMS. If you solve it, I think you'll get same answer. Can we calculate also phase angle, that theta as angle made by Vm? I think this will be best approach, the second one. Because as I increase one more component, I think you'll be in a big trouble. This integration method will be very lengthy to calculate. So in exams, you must have this alternative. Able to focus. So in books, we don't have discussion on like this composite signal. I can apply. The idea is very simple here. This phase angle. Now, what is the average power? So you know VRMS. Then you should calculate the current I. How to calculate current I?
RMS by impedance.
Z is equal to now R square plus XL square. Then IRMS equal to VRMS by Z. Then what is the average power? Or else what you should do, you can also write VRMS, RMS cos phi. Phase angle of circuit, again you have to determine. Phase angle of circuit, uh, it just depends on XL and R. No? Again, don't think that phase angle of circuit depends on this phase angle. VRMS having a zero phase or that one. On the vector diagram will change, but the overall, the phase angle of circuit is still this much only. But when you're drawing the vector diagram, you can't just put like a VRMS you see is having some phase, and it's RL circuit. Current lags the voltage. So the rough diagram, VRMS current. So depend if it's having zero phase. No, applied voltage is not having some phase angle. There's also having some phase angle, and there'll be also phase angle. There's a phase angle of circuit, so you have to include that one. So if this is IRMS, if you assume IRMS to be zero phase, then where VRMS will come like this. What is this phase angle and what is this phase angle? Theta degrees. What is this theta degree and what is this phase angle? This is the phase angle of circuit, and the VRMS itself is having some phase. Able to get that one? Okay, let's go for the next one. Yeah. Now I see that. I brought three components. So look at the phase of this. Plus 60 degree, zero phase, 60 degree and minus 45 degrees. So what is alternative? For first, according to the formula, RMS square is equal to 1 by T, 0 to T. I think this will be very lengthy calculations will come. Three components are there. Again, I think not three. One, two, three, five components will come. Expanding that bracket A plus B plus C plus D and E whole square. Then integrating. It takes a lot of time. So what is alternative? The alternative is I will go for I'll treat individual components as a vector. Already I think superposition of SHM we have done the similar idea. So this is having a phase of then pi by 3 the magnitude. C is having magnitude of pi by 4. Then we'll calculate the x component of current. And what these are maximum. IMX should be equal to A plus B cos B by 2 plus C by root 2. There is no xy for our convenient vertical and horizontal like this we are taking this one. So this should be equal to B root 3 by 2 minus C by root 2. Then what do we get? The resultant current IM is equal to. Why we are doing all this? Because we don't know complex numbers. Actually, we know it. We can use complex numbers. Again, we should be very good in what? Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication of complex numbers. That will take more time. Instead, this approach will be easier. So there's the maximum current. Then what is IRMS? IRMS equal to IM by root 2. Then what about the phase angle? We can also predict the phase angle. The resultant tan theta. This should be equal to Im by Ix. So altogether, this signal I can replace with magnitude IRMS and the phase angle theta. Is having a phase of theta. Theta is what? The resultant. So it may come somewhere here. I'm just putting some rough diagram. I think this will be much easier. I feel like I think less time you can conclude the problem like this.
Sir, we can expand also now, sir. Of
Can you do this in less time? Try to understand. I'm saying something here. You can expand and integrate. It will take more time, but in exams you cannot do that much of time with this. Definitely they'll ask intentionally. You have to go for this. Nothing wrong in the first method. You have to expand and integrate. It'll take more time. 5 components will be there. A plus a, like a x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. So you have to expand that bracket. Got it, all of you?
We can take sin omega t together and cos omega t together now, sir. We'll get only 2 factors.
Sin C, sin D formula.
Yes.
See, any alternative trigonometry if you have, you can apply it. I'm against the integration. That's all. Got it, all of you? You can use any approach. Of course, nothing. Sin C plus sin D formula, you apply it. Solve it. Again, you'll get 3 components, not 2. A sin omega t will be there, this one. So further, if you are able to simplify this everything into only 2 component or 1 component, okay, well and good, carry on. I am not against your mathematics. The resolution of vectors is which we are very familiar. Just I brought it here. Any of mathematical approaches you have, you can carry on, but it should take less time. So definitely the examiner who is asking, keeping this in mind, you will ask, not keeping this in mind. The students will think like this, you'll be asking. Don't scold me, sir, lengthy question they asked. So alternative approach is this one. Okay. Okay, and we'll take the next condition. No, if something, I want the expression for current here. The total current flowing through the battery. As we know, this will be I1, I2, I3. A very generalized approach. A very generalized approach is what I'm trying to bring. You can use complex numbers and you can solve. You can use complex numbers and you can solve. Without that also we can manage this. Each branch, how the elements are series. So what is the impedance of each branch? So can we just say that impedance Z1. These impedances, will they have, all will have same phase or different branches will have different phase? Yes, actually this is Z1, it will have a phase angle how much? I'll write it nearby. Z1 phase angle phi 1. This will be Z2 phase angle phi 2. This will be Z3. These are the phase angles. How to calculate the Z1? Z1 is quite very easy. R1 square plus XL1 minus XC1 whole square. I try to just see that simplified approach so that parallel circuit you need not to bother. No. What is Z2 impedance of second branch? Let me calculate all the things. So I got impedance, this one. Then what is I1? I1 will be Vrms by Z1. I'll get current I1. This current I1 will have some phase angle because Vrms will be there. So it will have some phase angle, that one. How to calculate that phase angle? Tan phi 1 is equal to XL1 minus XC1 by R1. Will I agree? So therefore, this is only magnitude. This is only magnitude. So what is actually the current I1? I1 should be a magnitude Vrms by Z1 and phase angle phi 1. That phi 1, I'll show it. How to calculate that phi 1? By this formula. Go back to RLC. Don't bother parallel. Take out from your mindset the parallel circuit. A series circuit is there. RLC, what is the phase angle? This is the formula. Then what is the magnitude? Vrms by Z1. I think we did. Then if this I1 is having some magnitude as well as phase angle. How to calculate phase angle? This method. Similarly, the same approach, Z2 is equal to magnitude of impedance, and this is having phase angle phi 2. How to calculate that? Tan phi 2. Phase angle can be positive or negative. It all depends upon the values of L and C. So similarly, Z3 is equal to now we have some better information. So these are the current is not in phase. We'll have different phase angle. The current flowing in this branch 1 and branch 2, branch 3, they'll have different phase angles. It all depends upon the values. Maybe all will have it all depends on the values, the phase angles it will determine. How to calculate the resultant current? You can't try just I1, I2, I3. You look at this angle also, you have to take. It is as good as like you can't just add three forces F1, F2, F3. F1 bar plus F2 bar, F3 bar. Then I should go for vector sum of these currents. How the vector sum you do it? So if this phase angle is positive, this is this one. So we can resolve all that. In that one can be negative. It all if R2 some correction is there. I didn't. Second one is only having, it is not having capacitive reactance, no? Yeah, it should be like this. It is not having inductive reactance, only capacitive reactance is there. XC3 whole square. Now, can you just make a guess of this? What can be current in RC circuit? Leads the voltage, no? In RL circuit? Lags the voltage. I'm taking, this is the reference. You have to take, this is the reference. This is called like a lag circuit. This is called lead circuit, and this one lag or lead, it depends on these values, XC1, XL1. I just made changes, huh? No. So what is this I2? Should lag it, no? So the I1, I'll show it here. I1, I'm just making a guess. Let it be positive here. Then what about I2? I2, I'll bring it here. And I3 is somewhere, this one. So again, how to get the resultant current? There's three vectors are there, you know angles, everything. So get the resultant current, and that is what I. You can solve by complex numbers. It will take easily 1 hour. At least this will take 10 minutes. Again, resolve velocity, not velocity, current. Component of current along X, along Y. You'll get X component, Y component. Then you'll get also the phase angle of this. And also the magnitude. Can you proceed in similar way? It's not a series circuit, it's a parallel circuit. VRMS, RC circuit. Across RC branch, current will lead the applied voltage, no? So I think what I did, I2, I3, symbols. Correct, no? This is I2. It's a parallel circuit, not series circuit. RC circuit is a lead circuit. Current leads applied voltage. RL circuit, current lags the applied voltage. I think you have to be very careful in determining that phase angles. Okay, this is a generalized approach. So now any number of series parallel, I think you can manage with this thing that one. And do this particular resultant current will have some phase angle. How to calculate? By this method. Then what is the phase angle of circuit? This tan phi, tan phi is the phase angle of circuit. Then you know IRMS. You know this IRMS. Total. You know IRMS. Then what about impedance of circuit? Impedance of circuit should be VRMS by IRMS. Now what is another alternate method? The reciprocal of impedance is called as admittance. I'll put it. Admittance, reciprocal of impedance. So the symbol will be like this. They are parallel. So 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. This should be equal to Y1 plus Y2 plus Y3. Then another method is reciprocal of resistance is called as conductance. So the reciprocal of impedance is called as the admittance, admittance. So I think in our books, they're not defined it. I'm just giving some additional information. Accidentally, they may ask. So therefore, when they're parallel, no, rather than calculating impedance, we'll calculate admittances will add up. If the branches, if the components are series, then we'll solve the problem taking help of impedance. When they're parallel, we take help of admittance because admittance gets added up. This is a general idea. I'll proceed to the series resonance. Already some word resonance you have come across. Resonance where, like if you go for the tube, organ pipes, this will be a tuning fork. There's an organ pipe, no? From where the energy for standing wave in the organ pipe will come? From this tuning fork. So shall we call this as a source? Supplies energy, and this organ pipe accepts that energy. So when the resonance occurs between the organ pipe and the tuning fork, then the maximum transfer of energy occurs from the source to the organ pipe. Then we'll get a maximum sound. So I think you look at the blowing of whistles. Some people will try to blow whistle. They're unable to get sound. Some people will blow whistle. They'll get very easily. The reason for that, because what is the source? The vocal cord. And what is the organ pipe? The lip, the tongue, or the jaws, everything will become organ pipe. And the air with which what you blow, the vocal cord inside that one, that will become a source. So the frequency at which vocal cord is vibrating, if they're equal to resonant frequencies of the organ pipe. What is organ pipe? Suppose a person blowing a whistle. What is organ pipe? It's mouth. That one altogether is jaws, tongue, this one, that lips. Everything will become organ pipe. So when the resonance occurs, then maximum sound will get. So this is what you have come across in the sound here now. So this is source. So when there'll be maximum transfer of energy from source to the load, this organ pipe will occur. So when these two are at resonance. So shall we put in one simplest way? At resonance, there'll be maximum transfer of energy from the source to the load. What is the load? Organ pipe, or the one which will absorb here. One which will accept. This will supply, this will accept here. Similarly, we are going to have here some sort of like a resonance ideas. So go back to some problems we have done where as we vary frequency in AC circuit, can we control power dissipation? Answer is yes or no. Yes, by varying, because the what is the average power? The average power depends on what parameters? The average power, P average, is equal to IRMS, VRMS, cos phi. Cos phi depends on what? R by Z. And impedance depends on what? R square plus XL minus XC whole square. XL XC in turn depends on what? Omega L, X is 1 by omega C. So by varying frequency of source, can I control the power dissipation in the circuit? By varying omega, I can vary XL, I can control the XL and XC. By controlling XL and XC, we can control the power factor. By power factor, the average power dissipated. So by varying frequency of source, I can see that the power dissipation, how much in the circuit. There's a basic idea is what, which I'm going to apply here. Now, this is a source, VRMS. So here, let me take a components here. There's a resistor, inductor, and let this be capacitor, R, L, and C. The current flowing, let it be IRMS. How voltage and current here? So everywhere, I'll just show first current. They're in series, so it will have zero phase. Across resistor, how voltage and current are in phase. Across inductor, the current lags the voltage, so therefore we show VL like this. Current lags the voltage, and across capacitor, current leads the voltage. I think series parallel things are a little bit different way of representing phasor. Here in series circuit, what is the reference? The current is the reference I'm taking. In parallel circuits, the applied voltage will become reference. So from this, the phasor diagram, just like this, we'll continue with what all we know it. I'll take it out all this content. Now first, we'll write expression for this we know. So this will be VR, VL, VC, and somewhere I'm just assuming VRMS like this. So from the voltage triangle, VL minus VC, VR, and this is VRMS. From this, we'll get the impedance triangle. Now let's write expression for current I. So IRMS is equal to VRMS by Z. So this is VRMS. What is impedance? Z is equal to R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Let me expand this. Omega L 1 by omega C whole square. Look at now. The current flowing through this branch, or current flowing through the circuit, it depends on omega. Now I'll vary the frequency. I'll start increasing from 0. I'll either keep on increase the frequency. What will happen to current? What will happen to current? So first, prior to that, we should know how all the quantities are related with frequency. No? XL, XCR, how the various quantities are related. Let's take the graph here, no? X-axis is what? I'll take the frequency. Then first, what is XL? XL is equal to omega L, or this is 2 pi FL. So it should increase linearly. So shall we put it? This is XL. Then what about XC? XC, we have the equation will be like this, no? 1 by omega C or 1 by 2 pi FC. Rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola, and moreover, it is a XC, XL and XC will be 180 degree out of phase. So that I will. This what all I'm plotting. There's a one simple basic idea. Please do remember this one. So it will be f equal to 0 at f equal to 0. We'll start plotting the graph. Look at this one. F equal to 0. What is XC? Will be infinite, no? And as the increased frequency, XC value decreases. And how XL and XC will be 180 degree out of phase. So therefore, some books they have shown the curve XC here. So, but it has to be shown it here. And f equal to infinity, it will become 0. So therefore, the curve will start. It's a rectangular hyperbola. I don't have space here, so so what is this? This is XCM. Only I'm showing here. So this is XC, and this is XL. What about R? Resistance, will it change with frequency? No, it remains fixed here. So the value of R is. No, we take the solid one. So this is the resistance. Let's plot the current. What about the current?
Increase and decrease.
At one particular value of frequency, XL can become equal to XC, no? Then the current will be maximum. Then XL very much greater than XC, current will be less. XL very much greater than XC, current will be less. So here, look at the value here. At lower frequencies, XL will be greater than XC. At higher frequencies, XC will be greater than XL. And at one frequency, XL can become equal to XC. So where this quantity becomes 0, where the reactance becomes 0, current will be maximum. So what's happening to current? Current is going to increase, then it's going to decrease here. Becomes maximum, then decreases. So it's a rough diagram. One more. And it need not be symmetric. It need not be symmetric. So this will be the expression for current. IRMS, if you want IRMS, or you can write only maximum current. So like this, when I plot all the things, I'm getting the curve like this. So at one particular frequency, I'll call that as resonant frequencies, FR. In books, they call that as F0. At one frequency called a resonant frequency at which current will be maximum. I'll call this as I naught. Any of the symbols you can apply, or IM again you'll get confused with maximum value of current, that one. So let me call that as maximum IRMS, that is which is flowing here. So what do you mean by this resonant here? Means as I vary frequency of the source, the source will be supplying energy to the circuit. Then the energy supplied by the source to the circuit will be maximum when the frequency of source becomes equal to resonant frequency of circuit. Similar to what is organ pipe? This is organ pipe. What is a tuning fork? This is a tuning fork. So we just call this a source. This is a circuit. So when there will be maximum transfer of energy from the source to the circuit at resonance. The basic idea, nothing big. So how to calculate that resonance at resonance? I'll put everything in one page here only. Yeah, we'll see, you know. So at resonance, XL will become equal to XC, which is omega naught L, omega naught C. Omega naught square equal to 1 by LC. So what is the resonant frequency will be? F naught equal to 1 by 2 pi LC. And now you can ask questions, sir, how XL will become equal to XC? The net reactance will become 0. That's what the graph I'm showing. You look at this. This is having XL and this is having XC. When XL becomes equal to XC, because always XL minus XC must be, XL minus XC is the net reactance. So therefore it's better to show XC like this, reactance, capacitive reactance. This is inductive reactance. Some book they have shown this here, XC. Okay, nothing wrong, but again, little bit justification will be very much problem. So how XL plus XC gets added up, it should become more. So therefore, the XC should be, according to the thing, it should be drawn here. In the fourth quadrant, it should be rectangular hyperbola. Now this is a positive XL. This is XC. The net resultant, net reactance here will be 0. Now what about here? Capacitive reactance will dominate here at this frequency. Here what will happen? XL now has become more than XC. Curve that equal, we have to show it. Any good graphical questions can be asked for you. You be careful. No, I think it's this distance should be equal to this one at resonance. Just before, before resonance, you see that one, which was dominating capacitive reactance. XL minus XC. XC is greater than XL. After resonance, you see here. Now XL has become greater than XC. So therefore, how the circuit will behave before resonance for frequency of source less than F naught? It will behave like a lag circuit. Here it will behave like a lead circuit. The same circuit. And what about here? At this particular point, it will be a pure resistive circuit because net reactance is 0. It's a symbol. Everything I'm measuring RMS only here. All the potentials here measured is RMS. You write VL or VL RMS, both are same. It is understood, no? If I write only V, you'll get confused. That's why I'm writing VRMS. Huh? Okay, this is about the resonant frequency, lag circuit and lead circuit. What is the power factor?
The first one is lead circuit, sir.
First one is lead, no? capacitive. This will be lag. Yeah. Symbols. For f less than f naught, it's a lead circuit. Xc will be greater than XL. So we'll write it all the things. F less than f naught. Xc greater than XL. So therefore, what is the power factor? It will be lead. Then what is the formula for power factor? Again, the same formula, no? Cos phi R by Z. The impedance you have to calculate this one. Similarly for f greater than f naught. XL will become greater than XC, then it will become lag circuit. Then power factor, again the same formula. We are not bothered about f greater than f naught, f less than f. We are bothered about at resonance only. At resonance only, there will be maximum, current will be maximum. You check it here now. So now let's come for third case, f equal to f naught. The current here which is flowing will be maximum, which is equal to Vrms by R. What about current in this case? Current which is flowing will be Irms equal to Vrms by or this is equal to Z, where Z will be greater than R. So definitely where current will be maximum, Z greater than R. So let me write only in terms of that. It will be easier for you. Tell me like where current will be maximum. At resonance only it will be maximum. It's sir, how do you can show that this graph will be like this only increasing, becomes maximum, decreases? I have enough proof here. For f less than f naught, check it here. What is impedance will be greater than R? Because XL will be greater than XC. Sorry, XC will be greater than XC. So therefore the impedance will be greater than R. For f greater than f naught, XL will be greater than XC. Then again the impedance will be greater than R. So compare this value, IRMS and IRMS max. So definitely the here what when the impedance is least, no? This will be. So I'll get the current at resonance only will be maximum. So altogether, if maximum current flows, who will dissipate power? Only the resistor, no? So therefore, what is the maximum? When the source will deliver maximum power to the circuit at resonance. That's the basic idea of this one. Now we have to work out lot of concepts are involved in this. This is about the, I think I can, this much is available. The total everything. What about the power factor cos phi? Where it will be maximum? At resonance only. At resonance only. So I want to plot power factor versus frequency graphs. Let me go for different types of graphs here. Let me put it here at resonance. What is the power factor? Should be equal to 1. And what is the power dissipated? Will be maximum, which is equal to how much? IRMS into R, or IRMS into R is what? VRMS, no? So VRMS into IRMS maximum. Which all information is available, you can calculate the power. So you check this power will be maximum at resonance only. So word at resonance, this is everything what we're discussing at resonance. At resonance, there will be maximum transfer of energy will occur from source to the circuit here. In the circuit, we will take the resistance. Now let me plot power factor versus the frequency graph.
Same graph.
The same graph, no, it should be. You should be very careful about the possible types of graphs here. There's a power factor. That is what cos phi, and it will be equal to 1 here. This is very important here. It cannot be greater than 1. Maximum value will be equal to 1. And this is the resonant frequencies. Lead circuit, this is a lag. What about the, as a very resistance, any changes will come? I'm not going to disturb. So what should be the value of F naught? It depends upon this particular thing. L and C will determine what should be the resonant frequency of circuit. So what I do is, I'm going to keep L and C fixed here. I'm going to change the resistances. Let's see how possible a graph will come here. So there's a resonant frequency because L and C are kept fixed. So resonant frequency will not change. I'm interested only in the, first I'll put resistor R1, then the resistor R2. How the graph is going to be. So first one, can you say anything about what is this? I plotted current for different values of resistance. So which should be the R1, which should be the R2? How to determine that one? Look at the curve. So one more, the impedance, total impedance can be plot. Total impedance in this. Magnitude of impedance, mod of Z. Yes, one more we can plot it. I think any color. Yeah. Mod of Z will be it should not cross that XL because impedance is what, like R and XL will be there. Of course, R will get added to XL and here XC will come. R plus XL, no? So the value will be a little bit, somewhere here we'll show it. Yeah. So this is what mod of Z. Again, we'll give the name. Why mod of Z? Impedance is, or say impedance is what R square plus XL minus XC whole square, no? But still it's practice of writing mod of that one. So let's come for that impedance. I'll take help of this one. So now we know current is maximum, then impedance will be minimum. The impedance will be minimum. So then what is the formula? I1 max equal to Vrms by R1. I2 max equal to Vrms by R2. So this I'll represent I1. This as I2 max. Now look at here now. So definitely R2 should be greater than R1. No? R2 should be greater than R1. If R2 is greater than R1, then I2 will be less than I1 from the graph. This is R2. So therefore, how the impedances, if I plot impedances for this, because at resonance, what is the impedance equal to? Only the resistance. So when I plot this graph, oh, you'll get impedance less. If the resistance less, current will be maximum. Then one more curve. Blue color, I'll take it. Where the blue color? Is it okay now? It can come. I'm just showing the rough diagram. It should be like this. So now we should be the I1. This should be the for I1. And this I'll call I2. So there's impedance. This should be the Z2. This should be the Z1. So with this, what we can do is Z1, this should be equal to, and look at this. So where R1, R2, I should show that R1, R2, we have to show it here. This will be the, it is messing up with this one. Yeah. Which is R1, which is R1, which is R2. This should be the R1. This should be the R2. And this is I2 max. Try to make observation, nothing big. Just if I vary the resistance, the graph curve is going to change. So when Z2 is equal to R2, so the curve will come now, and this current will be maximum. Here, this is what I2. And when Z1 equal to R1, then the current will be maximum, that is equal to I1 max. Is it okay? Representation of that. So as you vary, as you increase the resistance, and with this, what we can say, R2 greater than R1. Okay, looking at this, as you increase the resistance, what will happen to the sharpness of the curve? I'll put one more, so it will be. No, as you vary this one, because I'm bringing the word sharpness. No, as you increase the resistance, what happened to sharpness? Which curve is sharp? I'm using word sharp. So I think this is more sharper. No, the red color curve is more sharper. Particularly when you plot in the graph, no, the curve will appear like this. The sharpness, what happened of the curve, resonant curve, depends upon the resistance. As you decrease the resistance, sharpness will increase. As you increase the resistance, the sharpness will decrease here. Sharp, I think pencil, sharpener, pencil. With the sharpener, we do it, no? So if it is how sharp it is, the curve is also, it is, this red color curve is more sharper than the green color curve. So what happened to as you decrease the resistance, the sharpness will increase, or as you increase the resistance, the sharpness will decrease. So this sharpness, technically we'll call that as like a quality factor. To express this sharpness, no, I'll bring a word called as a quality factor. Now, where do we use this? All communications, what all we have, mobile, television, everything, no? Where all, if you want to select a desired station, desired signal, the series resonance, it is brought here. So if it is having sharpness is more, then it's said to be a very good RLC circuit. The sharpness depends on what? The sharpness depends upon the resistance. Technically, we just put it things like this here. So now, the measure of that sharpness is nothing but the quality factor. So let's see that how that quality factor on what all parameters it depends. So they may ask you any graphical use. I think so many things are there. They may ask you first graph, this one, then next again the power factor, then impedances, current, everything is included here. So you must go through this particular graph before advanced exam. Okay, let's come for the sharpness, what we define it. I'll start in the new here. This will be curve. It will not be symmetric because in lab when you do it, no, it will not be symmetric. We have maximum current. That maximum current I'll denote by I naught. I naught or any other symbols, I naught. What I plotted is IRMS and this is the frequency. This is a resonant frequency. This upper bandwidth, upper cutoff frequency, lower cutoff frequency, and this quantity is called as a bandwidth here. This IRMS only is what I'm plotting. This is the maximum value of that current. No, so we'll define the sharpness of this curve. So that I have to derive expression. How it depends on the resistance. Already I shown graphically. Now mathematically, I'll bring an expression and I'm going to show that the sharpness in fact depends upon the resistance here. So we'll proceed like this. So I'll define quantity called as a quality factor. Quality factor, this is defined as resonant frequency by bandwidth. So the symbol is used Q, capital Q, resonant frequency F naught, and the bandwidth is what? BW. Or this you can write only delta F. What is delta F? F2 minus F1. So what is the bandwidth? This we can also write it as delta F here. So now you can see this, the sharpness here. If the bandwidth is less for a given resonant frequency, then Q will be more, then sharpness will be more, no? You try to see this. If there's a bandwidth, and you can look at here, there's a bandwidth. So as the bandwidth increases, the sharpness of the curve will decrease here, or the sharpness of resonance curve will decrease here. So therefore, the quality factor we just define as resonant frequency by bandwidth here. First of all, you have to ask question, sir, what is the quality factor? It's a measure of how sharp the resonance curve is. It's a measure of how sharp the curve is. Then, sir, why do the sharpness again you are bringing? What is the use of this sharpness? Current maximum, it's over. Why the sharpness here? So if you go for the application, suppose say, let's take that one. I think you know FM now. So let's take that 92 megahertz is what? The frequency of a station. Then the song, music, what all, then it's audio signal. So how much frequency of that everything will be? 20 kilohertz. So therefore, so what should be the bandwidth of that particular station? The bandwidth of the station should be of 20 kilohertz. Or let's put 0.5 megahertz. In this 0.5 megahertz, what happen? I'll put all the information. What is information? What all I speak, the music, what all that in the FM station generated, no? So that everything what happen will be accommodated in this particular range. So therefore, now what is the bandwidth? 92.5. Where the station will be available for us will be 91.5 megahertz. So this everything will become bandwidth here. How much bandwidth will become? The information to put is we need this much of here. So 0.5 and 0.5. 1 megahertz will become bandwidth here. 92 megahertz is the F naught. 92.5 is the upper cutoff frequency. 91.5 is the lower cutoff frequency. Within this range, the information of station will be available. Later on in communication chapter, we are going to learn in detail. Okay, got this one now. So now to tune for this particular thing. So what I do is like, I should design my radio, that particular mobile in which FM circuit is there, it should able to grab this much of the signals here. So then why sir, why you are bringing I naught by root 2? So when a signal arrives at a station, or so like if it's a mobile or anything, that one. So what is the requirement is all those signals, means the signal which is equal to resonant frequency, it will have maximum power. What about the power of these signals? Will be, I think this particular frequency is having maximum power, no? Current is maximum. What about here? Power decreases. Then which all set of signal frequencies I can select? Not only just this, along with this maximum power signal, you can select all the signals which are having power at least half of the maximum. At least half of the maximum means what it will become. So let's go for calculation. So what is the maximum power? P naught is equal to maximum power. Why only I naught by root 2? Sir, you are cutting that from there. Why you are finding a F2, F1? So the maximum power P max is equal to I naught square by R. Then I'll consider all those signals, at least they should have power half of the maximum. So which signals will be useful for an application? This will contain information. The information will be spreaded here. The information will be spreaded everywhere from 0 to almost you can say infinity. Then sir, which signal I should consider? The one, this is maximum, this having maximum power. Along with this, you can even consider those frequencies which are having power half of the maximum power. And those frequencies which are having power less than maximum power, they'll not be useful for application. This is one, practically they noticed it. That's why they made a rule. So when you're designing a circuit, what will happen? What are the range of frequencies you should consider? Maximum power and the frequencies surrounding the maximum power where they're having power half of the maximum value. Got this one? So let's come for this half of the maximum. So what is the value here? This will become, I'll shift it down. Now this should be equal to I square R. So what is I is equal to I naught by root 2. Got now? So now for that, after getting this one, so what I should do here, after plotting this graph, I locate maximum current. I know I naught value. I know resonant frequencies. Got it now? How to get I naught? I naught depends on what? Again, what is I naught? I naught depends on what? I'll keep this circuit in hand. Otherwise, you'll not understand anything. You should tell me I naught depends on what? I naught depends upon this applied VRMS and R, no? Of course, this is RMS value only. I'm just calling it I naught. So this I naught in fact depends on what? So this VRMS, for our convenient purpose, I'll write only V. VR. And I can measure this I naught. I know resonant frequency. Resonant frequency depends on what? So after plotting graph, I can identify F naught. Okay, got this? And I know I naught. Then I will just move down along the current axis here, where current will become half of the maximum. So why only I naught by 2? Why not? Why don't you write I naught by 2? You should pick up only those signals, frequencies where the power is half of the max, not current is half of the maximum current. Able to understand the logic? So all those frequencies where power is half of the maximum power, they are useful for application along with resonance. This is the main thing. Along with this, these frequencies also are going to help us a lot. What about, sir, these frequencies? They will not help us in application. Practically, they made this a rule. Practically, they say like these set of frequencies, they are going to help us a lot. So it should be I naught by root 2. From there, what I'll draw a horizontal axis. It will cut the curve at 2 points. From there, I'll drop a vertical. These I'll call this as upper cutoff frequency. This has lower cutoff frequency. And I'll measure the width. There's a bandwidth. The bandwidth, the resonance frequency by bandwidth will become quality factor. This is something very important. What is the quality factor? How well the receiver circuit is able to receive the best signal. Means here, sometimes we get a noise, no, or we are unable to hear the station properly. What is the problem arise? The quality factor of the circuit at that given instant was very poor. Due to many reasons, it get disturbed here. So in all communication, television, mobile, satellite, this circuit is widely used here. Okay, let's come for further that one. So I want to say that how it depends on R. I think that was our question. No? I brought this I naught. So let's come for this one. So what is I naught equal to? This will be, so what is I is equal to? What about current here? I naught by root 2. This I shall I write in another way? V by root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Now you should really ask me, sir, from where you brought this. At resonance, what is current I will be Vrms by Z. If it is not at resonance, you write Vrms by Z, no? Because what is this current? This current which is flowing here, current I is flowing is not at resonance. I naught is the current which is flowing at resonance. Further, what is I naught? We can write it as I naught is equal to V naught R I naught by V. So we can write it as so root 2. So I'll do one thing. This will be 1 by or V by I naught. Let me keep here. So what is V by I naught? Vrms by I naught. This should be equal to R only. According to this equation. So further this equation will, let's put in order. I need a lot of space here. Let me do it here only, everything. No. So V by I naught, I'll write it as R. So R is equal to root 2R is equal to root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Now books now not given in detail, that's why I'm just showing it. So this will become 2R square equal to R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So this will become R square is equal to XL minus XC whole square. XL is this R equal to omega L omega C. Let's solve this. So we'll get a quadratic equation. R equal to omega square LC minus 1 by omega C. Omega square minus omega R by L plus 1 by LC, all set equal to 0. Check one's calculation. This will be negative only. Then it's a quadratic equation. We'll solve for omega. So omega will be 2 is missed. Okay, this will be only R by L plus or minus R square plus L square minus 4 by LC. So one angular frequency I'm going to get, that is what? Omega 1, I'll write it. R1L all divided by 2. First angular frequency omega 1, R1 R by 2L. The other frequency will be R by 2L plus so I got omega 1. From omega 1, what you can bring? You can bring 2 pi f1. And we have to calculate the bandwidth, no? How to calculate the bandwidth? So let's come back to the formula. I'm interested in this. So I got omega 2 and omega 1. And this is f naught is there. So let's come back to the everything I'm showing it. Just see once what all we did. Let's come forth. Let me substitute that value. So I got this omega 1 and omega 2. I'm going to substitute that one here. And I know f naught also. From that, I'll bring expression for the quality factor in terms of the components of the circuit, like R, L, C, how they'll depend on that particular thing. Shall I proceed here, no? How to calculate bandwidth? Say bandwidth is f2 minus f1, no? So let's calculate the bandwidth here first. This is the initial calculation part. Bandwidth BW should be equal to f2 minus f1. Or this will be omega 2 minus omega 1 what should be this quantity should be equal to 2 times of r by 12 get cancelled, so 2 times of under root of r square plus l square plus 4 by lc. The two parameter is two. I to send it inside. Denominator 2 has to be adjusted, no? Just 1 minute. I'll adjust 2 also. So this will become 4. This will be only 1 by LC. Why it should be? Because this 2 is what for under root also should be adjusted. This will become 4. Yeah, fine. Now look at this quantity. We have this much here. So what is the value of bandwidth? Bandwidth, I got this much. Bandwidth equal to f2 minus f1. We ended up this one. Let's come for, do we know resonant frequency? Yes, it will be
Sir,
Yeah.
omega 1 is negative.
Why negative?
R by 12 minus under root R square by 4L square. So the first term we have inside the under root, we have that term squared plus something else. So the second term will be greater than the first term.
Magnitude, no, it is. Magnitudes,
So
no.
when we are subtracting, we have to take mod and subtract, no sir. We have to subtract the magnitudes.
Okay, that R by 2 will get cancels, no?
No sir, the under root term will get cancelled then.
Why?
We should write
Negative.
omega 1 as under root R square by 4L square plus 1 by LC minus R by 12, not the other way around.
Omega
And
2 is
then
this much. Omega 2 is this much. Then minus of this. Why this is? There's a magnitude, no? This omega 1 is some value that depends on this one.
yes sir, now what expression you wrote, you'll get negative value there. We cannot subtract then.
No, omega 2 minus omega 1, I'm doing this. Root minus of minus will become plus.
Sir, if we can write omega 2 minus omega 1 if omega 2 and omega 1 are positive. But omega 1 is negative. So we should like write it in the reverse order and then subtract it.
Frequency is, how frequency is negative here? Huh?
Sir, you see there, sir, you got negative value. R by 12 minus this thing will be negative. Sir, actually what happens is when you wrote R square equal to XL minus XC whole square,
Take plus or minus, sir.
that you'll get two roots, plus or minus. So from there you'll actually get four roots. Out of that, two will be positive, two will be negative. Those
Okay,
two
okay,
we
we'll
should
do one
remove.
thing. I'll just wind up, then we'll see whether we are right or wrong. Huh? Mathematics is correct or physics is correct. Huh? Okay, now this will be, now 1 by LC, you can, this will be, this you can neglect the bracket term. So we'll end up with this 1 by 2 pi 2. So this will be R by 2L, I'll bring outside. So here 1 by LC will be very much greater than 1. So this will become negligible. So the approximate what we are bringing like this here. So finally, how much it is? The bandwidth is equal to, we are getting 1 by 2 pi R by L. Let's go for quality factor. Quality factor, we define F naught by bandwidth here. F naught by bandwidth. What is F naught? F naught again, this should be, so I'll substitute as it is. So bandwidth is equal to how much? 1 by 2 pi R by L. So this will become 2 pi F naught R by L. So this will become omega naught. Or this will become omega naught L by R. This is a formula which we brought it. And what is omega naught into L? Should be the inductive reactance. And at resonance, we know when F equal to F naught, XL equal to XC in terms of mod. So the quality factor, we can also write it as Q equal to XC by R. So quality factor, how to increase the sharpness of resonance? We have one option. What is that? This is omega naught, I'm not going to disturb. L, very difficult. R is variable. By varying R, we can control the sharpness. So therefore, where do we see this? I think you go for the, even the Tata Sky remote, or you can say any other DTH. Fine tuning, they say, no. Omega naught, with that you are selecting the channel. Again, to avoid any disturbance, what happen? We do fine tuning. What is that fine tuning? The fine tuning is varying R. By varying R, what happen? Will make Q, by decreasing value of R, Q will become high. Q becomes high, what happen? The unwanted signals will be eliminated. Then we'll get a program which will be like a without any disturbance. Same thing in the FM radio also. You see that 92 megahertz. At 92 megahertz, you'll get a signal. Then if you just move right or left side of 92 megahertz, no, the disturbance will get added up. And again, some FM sets, if you purchase no good FM sets, you'll get fine tuning. Fine tuning is what this R. 1 by LC, this quantity should be negligible, no? Or LC will be very much greater than 1. Let me put like this here.
How did you make that assumption, sir?
Practically.
Sir, in some of the numericals, what we solved, L and C are in micro levels.
Just listen. Nothing. There's only in resonance we do like this. Not every problem. Don't generalize it. So in practically, when I go and check it, no, the formula which we have brought it is satisfying almost 99% of the performance. This I know approximated, but this is widely used in designing of circuits here. So now, how to increase the sharpness of resonance? Earlier, what we thought is sharpness of resonance depends on what? Just I gave a curve. So as you increase R, the curve what will become less sharper. As you decrease R, the curve will become more sharper. So how do you can plot curve like this? I can justify the reason from here. You look at the quality factor, it is inversely proportional to resistance here. So first of all, sir, what is a quality factor? What do you mean by Q? It is a measure of sharpness of resonance, or how good it is in selecting the desired signals. This is something very important in communications that for us, it's only just mathematics because we never understand what you mean by selecting all that particular thing. How good it is in selecting the desired signals by a receiver circuit. By a tuning circuit, it is called as. Tuning, I think tuner. So in television also we tune no, for different channels. Then to avoid any disturbance or any other thing, no, the value of R should be adjusted. By using omega naught, what happens? We'll select a desired station, desired program. Then how to minimize the disturbance in that program? By varying R. By decreasing R, yes, the disturbance in the program will get eliminated. This is actually the basic idea of this one. So either the sharpness depends on what? Omega L, or we can also write another formula. So I think I'm writing all set of formulas at one place. Or we can also write it as XL by R. So from XL by R, what you can write it as? Omega naught L by R. Or another formula, XC by R. See, I don't adjust omega naught because omega naught and C are fixed here. I can't change C and omega naught. If you vary C, omega naught will change. So therefore, how to eliminate the disturbance? By varying R. By decreasing R, the Q will increase, the sharpness will increase. So like this, the method is what brought in the communication circuits here. So can we write in another form also? I'll adjust IRMS, I into XL, I into R. What is I into XL? VL, and this is VR. Or we can also write it in another way. Q is equal to XCR So how to measure the sharpness of resonance? The voltage drop across the inductor to that across the resistor. I think this will be more easier to measure, no? How to measure the voltage drop? Directly connect voltmeter across inductor and connect one AC voltmeter across resistor. Take the ratio of that. That will determine how sharp is the curve is. See, I'm telling you this one. I am not going to change the resonant frequency of the circuit. This F naught is as it is. By varying R, I can change the shape of the curve. But the what happens to the sharpness? What will happen to F naught? F naught will not change. By varying R, F naught will be fixed here. Where the current should be maximum, at F naught only will be maximum, that will be maximum. But then look at the shape of the curve. This shape depends on R. That's what this particular graph I brought it. I brought it here. So now how to measure that quality factor? Directly measure potential difference across the inductor, resistor, take the ratio of that, you get quality factor. And then how these omega naught, omega 1 are related. So one more relationship I brought it, just you cross verify it. There's one more formula is there, just do remember. You can, because we know omega 1, omega 2, from that you check it, you'll end up with this one. The cutoff frequencies are related to the angular frequency by this particular formula, or F naught you do have problems in books. So just if you know formula, you can manage here. So you know F1, F2, how I brought it. Take help of that and you can get this relationship by doing some approximation. Then after this, what is another way of defining quality factor in terms of energy? Q, it is defined as 2 pi into energy stored by energy dissipated per cycle. All this is, I think nothing wrong here, no? This is all per cycle. So from where I'll do one thing, I'll adjust one more I square. I square XL is what? Reactive power. I square R is what? The dissipative power. Energy, reactive energy. Energy stored means not total, reactive, anything. Either you take inductive reactive power or capacitive reactive power. So how we define energy stored per cycle by energy dissipated per cycle, because what all current flows to the resistor will be dissipated. What all the current that flows across the inductor or capacitor, that is what the energy that is stored here, and it will be returned back. So energy stored per cycle by energy dissipated per cycle. I think here is what the basic idea, it will come into picture now. So when the quality factor will be good, when the energy dissipated per cycle if it is less, then the quality factor is supposed to be I. And this energy stored is what? Like reactive power. Stored, I'm using what? Stored means the circuit will exchange energy twice. The reactive elements will exchange energy twice with the source, no? In a cycle. So same thing happens here. So the energy stored per cycle by energy dissipated per cycle. They may ask this one here. You have to be very careful with this particular formula. So for any like a tuning circuit, we prefer Q to be very high. So this is about the theoretical thing, just only say mathematical way we are learning it. When we go for communication chapter, there what you are going to learn in detail. So the quality factor of that RC circuit matters a lot. So I'll suggest you, like, what is the actually meaning of this? Suppose this is antenna. This one. So the antenna, this wire will have a resistance, antenna. Then this is a capacitor, this is an inductor. Then this is the circuit here, which I'm going to connect to, or say loudspeaker or anything, let it be that one. Now several station programs will come. So this will be, say, 88 megahertz, 90, 92, 96, 100 megahertz. All these are in megahertz. Then have here, you'll see that one. I'm going to vary the C. By varying C here, what I do, I'll select a desired station. So there is station 1, station 2, station 3, station 4, station 5 stations are there. All 5 stations, they are transmitting their program. And what we are interested to hear any one program, how to select the desired particular program. I think you know FM. Suppose you are listening to 92 megahertz. Then when you're listening 92 megahertz, what happens to programs of other station? Will they stop transmitting? They say like a so and so person studying in Sri Chaitanya College in DD Colony is listening this particular station, so we should switch off all other stations. Is it like that? No. Whether you listen or not to their program, everyone will transmit their own like a programs at a frequencies 88, 90 megahertz, 92, 96, 100 megahertz. You want to listen for 90, 92. So what you're going to do, you're going to adjust the value of L and C such that you'll get this much. So here you're going to vary the C. Then once the frequency of circuit becomes equal to 92 megahertz, then what happens, that particular program station, what happen, only will have maximum current corresponding to that. What about this 90 megahertz? It's like a signal will come and strike the antenna. Then what happen, current due to this particular frequency signal will be very less because it's not at resonance. So when current will be maximum, only when the frequency of incoming signal becomes equal to frequency of source, frequency of circuit. Now this is a circuit. And what is the source? There are 5 sources are there. S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Is as good as like 5 sources are applied to the circuit. Then I want to listen only for this 92 megahertz. What I should do? I'll adjust the capacitance of circuit in such a way that the resonant frequency will become 92 megahertz. Then the current due to this signal only will be maximum. What about current due to these signals? Will be there, but they'll not be maximum. Any reason for that? At resonance. So how do this circuit? It will appear like this. So our circuit is designed for this one, 92 megahertz. Then what about the response curve of other things? Of other circuits will be very less. The current due to that will be there. What will be that? We are not bothered that one. So now you can look at this one. So when the frequency of circuit becomes 92 megahertz, only current due to that will be maximum, no? So here what when I'll get all the signals, but current only due to that 92 megahertz will be maximum. Then what I do is like the one which is having maximum current only, I'm going to filter it out. Then that will be amplified and given to us. We are able to listen only that station. What happens if you listen all 5 programs at a time? I think it will become noise, no? In a classroom, if all 5 students asked out at a time, we call it the noise. So what I should do? I should request any 4 students to stop talking. Later on, let only one talk. The circuit is called like a selective circuit. With the help of this series resonance circuit, what I'm able to do? I'm able to select a desired set of signals here. Which particular frequency I want to select, only that I can select. That's what the series resonance circuit is. This is actually what happens in communication chapter. Later we'll see that one. Okay, let's go for one more. I'll write only formulas. Parallel resonance circuit. This is not there for syllabus. Still some people are asking. So there are, I'll just, the derivation is not there, or so it's not in syllabus. So still better you remember. Parallel resonance circuit, so I can so what is the resonant frequency of this? Omega naught equal to 1 by LC R by L whole square. Next, we maybe the inductor is ideal. See, inductor is not, what is this R? Not a wanted one, it's unwanted. The internal resistance of the inductor only can be R. Got this? So now it should be, it can happen that one. Inductor is ideal. But what will happen? The capacitor will not be ideal. Huh? In this case, the resonant frequency will be if R is very high, it become negligible. It'll become like a 1 by LC. If R is very low, so then what will happen to them? 1 by LC. And there's a parallel resonance circuit, sir. There's a 1, 2, and we have series resonance circuit. Let me put that also here, so that will be easy for you. Tell me like, what is this R? It will be the resistance of the coil itself. Tell me like, what type of coil you should prefer? Okay, now here comes the word choke. Tell me, to get the quality factor very high, what is the formula? Omega naught L by R, no? For very high quality factor, what should be the value of R? R should be very small. I'll make it smaller so that you'll understand what is the meaning of it. Tell me like, for resonance, and what is the resonant frequency? It just depends on, they may not ask as a question, but they may ask you general passage in advance. Possibility is there. Now you see you have all the information. I think I'll write smaller, so this will be much easier. Yeah, I think you are able to compare things very easily. Let's come for this. Quality factor. Quality factor should be as high as possible. So therefore, what type of inductor I should pick up? I should pick up inductor where L should be very large and R should be very small. Means I should pick up an inductor. So for a choke, the inductor is called as a choke. That one. So what is the like a inductor of high inductance, low internal resistance is called as a choke here. Inductor of high inductance and low resistance is called as choke. So this word is very important. A choke is connected means immediately what should flash for you? High inductance, low resistance. That's what happened here. So therefore, in series resonance circuit, so shall I place inductor or shall I place a choke? I should connect a choke. Inductor means it can have high internal resistance also, but choke what happen will have low resistance. I think very troublesome. In some of the books open, they like in series resonance, a choke is preferred in series with capacitor than an inductor. Correct statement. A student should not bargain with the teacher. No, sir, inductor, choke, both are same. So whenever you design series resonance circuit, so you are going to see that high quality factor should be there. The sharpness of resonance should be as high as possible. So for that to happen, L should be very high inductance and internal resistance of the circuit should be very less. Who will offer that internal resistance? The maximum is offered by the coil itself, the inductor itself. So therefore, a inductor with high inductance, self-inductance and low internal resistance is called as a choke. So got the idea now? Now come for this. So what is this small r? This small r is nothing but internal resistance of the coil. Now come for this. What is this small r? Resistance of the dielectric slab between the capacitor. So here this R is having lot of meaning here. Resistance of dielectric slab between the plates of capacitor. And what is the smaller here? Internal resistance of a coil. And this derivations again we can derive. For this, what should happen here now? Parallel resonance circuit, we have to take help of current, not the voltage here. So how the overall response of the circuit will be here? If I plot the current IRMS This is a resonant frequency. The current will be minimum at resonance. The current will be minimum and the impedance will be maximum. So I think there's a difference between series resonance and parallel resonance. Series resonance at resonance current will be maximum. In parallel resonance at resonance it will be current will be minimum. Then this is called like a rejector circuit. If I want to reject a signals, I'll go for it. If I want to select a desired signal, I want to reject that particular signal. I'll make the current due to that signal minimum by using parallel resonance circuit. So this is to reject a specific signal, parallel resonant. To select a specific signal, we'll take series resonant. So all these are what we use in communications here. Parallel resonance not there for syllabus, but still they can ask you as a general passage. So what is this R? R is rather than saying resistance of circuit here, no? Of course, resistance of connecting wires will come. The resistance of connecting wires will come. That will be negligible compared to this R. This will be R here. What happened will be very large here, no? Not small. So here small R, very large will get neglected. We'll end up with this equation. Smaller here will be very small. Then you neglect this, will end up this one. This about in parallel resonance circuit. So in series resonance circuit, this will be the condition. Compared to resistance of the connecting wires, the resistance of the coil will be more in series resonance. So like that, what happened? The inductor cannot be ideal. It will have some resistance. Capacitor cannot be ideal. The dielectric slab will have resistance, and how it will going to affect the resonant frequencies here. So when designing these resonance circuits, I should take care what type of circuit I'm designing. Okay, the word choke, why it will come into picture? Because of this condition. So good theoretical questions can be asked. Once again, what is the quality factor? It's a measure of sharpness of resonance or how good the circuit is selectively. So various definitions we have brought it. All that one. So next again, like in terms of R, we have started, this is from graph. Quality factor is equal to, this is from graph. From graph, we calculate using this formula. Graphically, we'll calculate this. From circuit parameters, this particular formula. Do remember, this will be. Then, in terms of energy, this is a formula. So different ways of expressing, and how that resonant frequency, cutoff frequency, they are related by using this equation. Okay, I'll wind up. Tomorrow we'll discuss some numericals related to this also. Okay, thank you all of you. Okay, thank you all of you. Take care, bye, see you.
Sir,
Yeah.
about that omega 1 and omega 2.
Check calculation and come back.
The final result will